What's up, you guys? Today I'm gonna try out another Danessa Myricks Colorfix. And I'm gonna put it on my lips, my eyes, and I'm gonna use it as a contour. So that's basically the only product I'm gonna use today besides my regular base and eyeliner and things like that. So let's get into it. Today while I did my makeup, I just wanted to talk a little bit more about my channel. I'm still fleshing it out, deciding what I want to talk about. But before we get much further into it, in case you haven't noticed, I would just like everyone to know that I am extremely pro-woman, pro-ho, pro-black, all that, yada yada. So, you know, you can feel safe around here. I've been a dancer for a while, so I've been in a lot of places, seen a lot of things. So I try my best not to judge as best I can. I know we all do. I do got some funny stories though. Whenever I tell people that I'm a dancer, they usually have a bunch of questions for me right away, and the questions are always the same, so I'm just gonna cover the basics really quick. Obviously, we don't get paid to work, we pay to be there, so we have house fees. Depending on where you work and what time you show up, house fees are always different. They can be anywhere from $50 to $150. Fenty contour stick. Also, generally you have to audition to work somewhere. One size. I'm gonna let this dry a little bit. So generally when you work somewhere, you have to audition first. Some places you can send a picture or whatever, just get hired, blah, blah, blah. But, so you know, you can travel anywhere and kind of go in to get hired and audition and work. In theory, that sounds great. For me personally, auditioning is one of the things I hated the most about travel dancing because it was really hard for me to get hired anywhere. Now, to be fair, I wasn't showing up the best. I would get ready and definitely look the part, but I had to learn that it was very hard to even get in the door. Managers will give you the runaround, be like, you call them, they'll be like, yeah, come in today at this time. You go in, it's a different manager. We're not doing auditions today. Okay, come back tomorrow at this time. You go back, it's another manager. We're not doing auditions today. They're really just telling you, go here, go there, do this, do that, because no one wants to hire you. Or you get in and you audition, you do all that, and I had to learn that a lot of times you have to just say you live there or you moved there, because they didn't want to hire traveling girls. There's a lot of other factors that make it hard to get in the door, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Like I said, I was one of those dancers. Okay, here's an example. Anastasia brow pen. I remember one time this couple at a club I worked at all the time came in and she was like, oh, you combed the back of your hair today. So that goes to show there were a lot of factors as to why I couldn't get indoors to get hired, I will say. Some of them were my fault, some of them were not. But it was really exhausting to travel and not get hired anywhere and you're out money before you even start. So I worked at predominantly white clubs, and when I started travel dancing, I couldn't really get hired anywhere, so I will go to black clubs because that was the only place I could get hired, it seemed. Now, I was very out of my depth here. I had never really worked at black clubs before, and so I didn't really know what I was getting myself into. First of all, I have a very slim, athletic build. My body type works in white clubs. That's not the case in black clubs. They're looking for body, man, okay? I was learning how to talk to people. I was learning you don't really do dances. It's not the same hustle. You kind of just walk around the floor and do your thing and make money. So I will never forget this one club that I worked at. Again, just imagine me not combing the back of my hair. I had shaved my head at one point, had a mohawk. My nails are probably half done. I'm just kind of doing whatever. So I'm working at this club. It's this black club. And the manager calls me into his office. And I have my little drinky drink. I set it down and he's like, not here, this is an office. Get your drink off of there, set it down over here, blah, 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 blah. So I already know it's all bad. Fenty soft matte powder. I have no idea what he's about to say, but he looks at me and he says, do you have a boyfriend? And I was like, no. And he says, have you ever had a boyfriend? And I was like, yes. And he says, well, put some lipstick on and act like it and change your outfit. This isn't a trailer park. I was absolutely mortified. Okay, now I'm gonna use this Danessa Myricks on my face to create a whole look, just using this one product. Let's see how it does. Okay, I'm gonna blend this out. Wish me luck. Another story I remember working there, actually. Whoa. So another story I remember when I was working there, I was on stage. I've been working there a little bit, and I had the stage figured out better than I did it when I first got there. But at this point, I still think I'm God's gift to the pole, okay? I'm hanging upside down on the pole, doing all kinds of tricks. You know, I'm making good money on stage, blah, blah, blah. I remember it was probably Friday or Saturday night. And so they did doubles on stage, so you had to be on stage with another girl because there was 2 poles on the stage. This girl had a big old ass. And we get on the stage and I'm doing all the tricks I can possibly do in the world. And she's just sitting there shaking her ass. Everybody is throwing mad money on her. Now, when I tell you I haven't made $1 single. And so at some point, she must have felt bad because, you know, we switched sides. So I go to the other side of the stage and she comes to where I was. Everybody follows her to the other side of the stage. And everybody's throwing crazy money at her. And I still have not $1 single on my stage. That was a very humbling moment for me. So that was really one of my first times working at a black club and working out of town for that matter. Took me a little while for my ego to bounce back, but we did it. And I took the show on the road again. I'm gonna go back in with this lighter Fenty concealer right here. So I knew a lot of people who had worked in Denver. I had some friends there at the time, so I heard good things about it. I'm like, let's go to Denver. I know the first time I went, I did like an amateur night or something. I didn't win, so I didn't get hired. And then I started looking at other clubs to work. Now, here's the thing about Denver. And everybody who dances knows this to be true, I swear to you. Apparently this is like a thing. When you go there and you audition and you're trying to get hired, the clubs are really like exclusive and tight knit. So I should have like known someone who was there and went when they were working type situation, okay? Didn't do that, don't know why, just showed up. I should know better at this point, right? And so I'm going around to auditions and every single where I'm going, I'm not getting hired and they're giving me the same reason at every single club. And the reason is that I need to lose a few pounds. Now, this didn't really hurt my feelings because I was smaller than I am even now. I'm looking at the manager, looking him up and down, looking around at the girls, being like, what? Denver was a dub. That didn't work out for me. Okay, now I'm gonna do this on my eyes. So I tried a few other cities that didn't work out. Eventually I found myself in New Orleans because of course I've heard a ton about it from other girls and my sister was living there at the time. Perfect opportunity. Again, I'm still not the best spicy worker, if you will, but I'm getting better at it. I'm learning, okay? So I get hired at this place that everybody's talking about, and it was all right, but I wanted to try some other places out because people are like, you know, you're here, you should not just go to one place, try a bunch. Every few steps, there's another club, so just try it out. So I'm walking along the strip, trying to get hired. I swear to you, I could not get hired anywhere. A lot of places that were upscale said I had too many tattoos. Other places, maybe I just wasn't dressed the right way going in. There's a lot of different reasons. But let me tell you, I spent like a whole day, maybe even 2, walking along the strip trying to get hired at different places. So I find myself at a black club, yet again. Now, what I didn't realize was that the location of this club was really bad, I guess. My first indication should have been when I showed up and he was asking me about my tattoos. That wasn't uncommon for people to ask about your tattoos. Like I said, if you have too many, then they'll be like, they don't want to hire you at some place. But then he's like, what are they of? I'm like, what? So I start telling my little stories about my tattoos. He's like, okay, whatever. And he lets me know that, oh, we just have to check to make sure about you know, gang affiliation and things like that, because they have problems there. So every time I go to work at this club after that, there's like a, you know, whatever, there's a metal detector and they're frisking everyone. So they're showing me around. The only other thing I remember being very strange about this club, which someone told me a reason that might have been later on, was when we went to the dressing room, there was half a door on the bathroom. Like literally half of a door. The door was like here and then it was like cut. So I'm like, whatever, I be around bitches all the time. It ain't no thing just to go to the bathroom in front of someone. And you know, I remember at the time I had my period, so I'm like, well, this might be a little weird, but whatever. I remember I'm changing, getting ready to audition, and security walks through the dressing room without saying a single thing. I wasn't very used to that. I thought that was crazy. I'm like, so I'm supposed to go to the bathroom with half a door when these niggas could walk through at any time? That was actually crazy to me. Benefit Cosmetics roller liner. Now I remember at the end of the night, I'm trying to get a ride home and the Ubers would not, I could not get an Uber. Like they were like so far away. I'm talking 45 minutes away, and then they would keep canceling on me when they would come or would get close. And I'm like, what is happening? And so the security guy, he's like, oh, don't worry about it. I got a friend who drives cabs around here. I'm like, okay. And that was definitely what I would later come to learn was a hood cab. But I'm grateful for it. And I say that because later on, when I would get Ubers to work, and I would ask them, you know, why can't I get an Uber at the end of the night? They'd be like, oh, well, where are you going? Look at my location where they're taking me to, and they said, oh, well, Ubers don't want to go over there, especially at that time of night. I'm like, oh, great. No problem. I'll stick a hoodie at home every night. I couldn't tell you where I was at. All I knew was that I had to go over some bridge to get to where I was going. Urban Decay gel liner for my waterline. I was very clearly out of place, but it was fun. And, you know, I learned a lot, and I definitely learned how to stand up for myself, that's for sure. I'm not gonna put lashes on today. I'm just gonna do my mascara. This is better than sex. I told all those stories to say, you know, when people ask me now why I only work at one club, that's really why. Because I'm so burnt out of auditioning other places. And I kind of like where I'm at now. So I just do what I do and then come home and do what I do. And I don't have to worry about the expenses of traveling and trying new places and the anxiety of it. It's just too much for me. Dancing really isn't for the faint of heart. That's just my personal feeling on it. I know a lot of travel dancers and they do great and they have fun and they love it. So to each their own, you know. I definitely probably am in a better position to travel dance now, but like I said, I'm so burnt out of auditioning, things like that. I can hardly work for a week straight without being like, oh, I need to lay in my bed for a week just to recuperate. But yeah, I love my little spicy worker family, all the girls I've met there, all the friends I've made, all the things I've learned about myself, about people in general, all the freedoms I've been able to have, all the things that supported me. Huda, Easy Bake, Kunafa. But I admire all the women I've met who really are hustling and dance all the time and are making their money, because I do not have the temperament for it, let me tell you. I've been trying it though. Okay, so I'm gonna do the Colorfix on my lips and then I'm gonna slick my hair back. Okay, I'm gonna slick my hair back with Eco Gel, which I don't really like this product because it flakes the next day on my hair really bad, but I need to wash my hair like tomorrow or the next day anyway, so. Okay, so the last story I wanted to tell is something people ask me all the time. And pretty sure it's happened to every dancer. Let me tell you a story about it first. So I remember one time I was dancing and it was my turn on stage. And I love stage because I was more of a pole girl. It's like the end of the night, it's crowded, so I'm playing some good music and I'm doing my best moves. And no one's really tipping me, but they're all kind of looking at me funny, I swear. Like, what are these people looking at right now? Like, come tip me and give me some money. So this one guy comes and tips me. So, you know, I get a little confidence. I start busting out my hardest tricks, legs open, flipping this way, that way. Everyone's looking at me and this guy's still the only one tipping me, bro. I'm getting so frustrated. So, you know, my song comes to an end, and as I'm scooting around picking up my money, the bouncer runs over to me and says, "Your tampon string is hanging out." Now, why these people didn't come on stage and get me sooner, I will never know. I just remember I went to the back of the stage and I sat there through rotations and rotations of girls. And then someone came and got me. And then I was in the dressing room talking to everyone about it. And they're like, "Oh girl, that happens to everybody." And everyone starts telling their tampon hanging out stories or bleeding on somebody. So yes, we do work when we're on our period. Not everybody does on their heavy days. You know, everybody's different, but it's really not as easy as it may seem. Just with anything, consistency. So it really takes a certain type of person to last in this game. Let me tell you, I still struggle with it all the time. I don't know how some of y'all girls do it and work so much. Big ups to you. But that's the best part about this gig. We all can kind of do whatever we want and there's no judgment. So I achieved this look with just one product, this Danessa Myricks Colorfix. I used it everywhere on my lips, cheeks, and on my eyes, and as a contour all over my face. What do you guys think of this look? I just used this one product on my whole face, basically, besides my face, obviously, but I feel like we did okay today.